So I wasn't sure what to expect from Puss in Boots The Last Wish, but I have to say I was so pleasantly surprised with this movie, and it is just such an instant classic. What is up everybody, welcome back to my channel Lifestyle Critic. I hope you're having a brilliant day. So in this video we are going to be reviewing Puss in Boots The Last Wish, which is a sequel to the first Puss in Boots movie, which was a spin-off from the brilliant Shrek franchise. And from that particular franchise's perspective, this is the 6th entry within the franchise, and it's just so good. It's got a brand new creative team, but thankfully all of the awesome voice actors from the first film are returning to reprise their awesome roles in this movie, and it's just such a fun swashbuckling adventure. I just do think that they could have pushed the emotional aspects of this movie even further and had a little bit more adventure taking place, but that being said, this movie definitely packs an almighty punch, and I cannot wait to break it down with you in this movie review. So Puss in Boots becomes a true legend after defeating a string of different villains and really lets this get to his head, so he becomes really arrogant. He then finds out that he's only got 1 life left as he has lost 8 of his 9 lives, so he's really fearful and really scared, and then after a string of hilarious events take place, he goes on a quest to find the lost last wish so that he can restore his lost 8 lives, and learns a lot of valuable lessons across this path and journey and quest. Now from a positive point of view, this movie is just so fun and funny. There are some hilarious one-liners. Puss in Boots' journey across this movie, I have to say, is just absolutely incredible. Where the character is in the beginning of this movie to where he ends up by the end of this film is absolutely tremendous. And this is one of the reasons that I just absolutely love animated movies, as firstly they're just such awe-inspiring visual masterpieces, but also they are just so brilliant and really just transporting you into this magnificent other world, and you're just really with all of these different characters on their adventure, and you just see that they are learning so much, which I just feel like is so impressive. And this is the most like the Shrek movies as well, as of course the Shrek films are just so incredibly popular because they just make fun of fairy tales so much. And I feel like this movie does it even more so than the first film, which really is really cool, and it really is a bit of a twisted fairy tale in the best possible way, and is just so magical. We have a map, we have a quest, we have loads of villainous characters, we have a lot of chase sequences taking place, so it's really action packed. And we also of course have this character on his last life, which is just such an intriguing concept for a character like Puss in Boots, as he is just so fearful of dying, and of course then wants to make the most of his last life, but has got this fear in the back of his head. So I feel like it is just put together so well. However, from a negative point of view, I would have just wanted more of what they've given you in this film. For example, more adventure, more emotion, more twists and turns. But that being said, if I just want more of what is already in this movie, then that has to show that this movie is really impressive, especially from a storyline perspective. So like I just said, I absolutely love animated movies. One of the main reasons being is because all of the voice actors typically are just able to go over the top and really exuberant with all of their performances and really truly bring their characters to life purely with their voice. And all of the voice actors in this movie just do such a terrific job. So let's go through them one by one. So first up, of course, we have Antonio Banderas, who really is Puss in Boots, as he just brings this character to life so much. Like I mentioned before as well, his character growth is really brilliant. And I have to say, from Antonio's perspective, I'm sure this must have been such a joy, as he gets to play such an arrogant version of the character in the beginning, and then the fear that he has in terms of losing his last life, the swashbuckling adventure that he then goes on, all of the lessons that he is able to learn from a lot of the other different characters in this film. So I feel like this character is so multi-dimensional and is just such a great lead character, so funny, and I just feel like he goes through so much. And Antonio Banderas just brings him to life in the best possible way. Salma Hayek very similarly plays Kitty Softpaws so well. Her voice is just instantly recognizable, and I just feel like she brings a lot of dimension to this character, even though I would have loved a few more layers from her performance from a storyline perspective. From a voice acting point of view, she just does such a good job, and of course she is the love interest to Puss in Boots, and is a really great rival and match to Puss in Boots, and in some respects does beat him, for example in trying to find the map and going on this quest together. And I just feel like it is such a great continuity from the first Puss in Boots movie, and I just have to say, Salma Hayek just brings so much charisma to this role. We've also got Harvey, Guillén, who is playing Perito, the very loyal and adorable and lovable dog companion that Puss in Boots doesn't really want to have in the beginning of this film. But I just love their relationship, and also what this means to the relationship with Kitty too. We've also got Florence Pugh. This is really Florence's, yeah, she really is the moment right now, and she brilliantly, similarly plays Goldilocks. And we've also got Goldilocks and the Three Bears in a bit of a twisted fairy tale setting in this film. And they are also after the last wish that add a lot more adrenaline, especially in all of the chase sequences where they are after the last wish and you're not sure who is going to win. We've also got the wolf, who definitely adds a lot of fear to Puss in Boots and a lot of danger as well, as this character seemingly is able to easily kill Puss in Boots, especially as Puss in Boots has lost 8 of his lives. So this unstoppable wolf character definitely adds a lot of danger. And then finally we also have Jack Horner in this movie, who is definitely the big evil bad and is the true epitome of a selfish character, which I think is really, really intriguing, as at first you think Puss in Boots is the ultimate selfish character, but the bigger, older version of Jack Horner really does take this to another level. So it's really, really interesting, as there are multiple different bad guys, so to speak, in this film. And of course, as it is a bit of a twisted fairy tale setting, there are brilliant cameo appearances from a load of other characters that we all know and love from the Shrek franchise, and of course from other fairy tales as well. And so from a character's point of view, I have to say they're absolutely tremendous in Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. So it's probably going to seem like I'm just showering this movie with positivity, but I have to say the visuals in this movie are literally some of the best visuals that I have seen in an animated production. And you know that I love animated movies, so I've seen a lot of films, but I have to say Puss in Boots just look so vibrant, so nice. They have said from a production point of view that they did want to mirror what they've done in Into the Spider-Verse in terms of having super modern animation, but also at the same time making it feel like a fairy tale. And on that point, I have to say it does look like an incredibly beautiful Disney movie. Even though it is from DreamWorks, it definitely has got that Disney vibrancy, and all of the things that happen in this film just look really great. For example, all of the fight sequences between multiple different characters looks really cool. A lot of awesome chase sequences, and because it is in animated form, they can just do loads of elaborate stuff and add a lot of magic in all of the proceedings as well, which just looks so awesome. And of course, Puss in Boots is a true swashbuckling type character, so the adventure that these guys go on is so good. Like I said earlier on, I would have loved to see a little bit more of the adventure stuff happening, as it is a little bit simplistic. But that being said, the fact that you get to see it happening on a map and all of the different interpretations of what happens when a different character looks at the map is really clever. But just, you know, all of the things that happen from a fairy tale perspective are really great, as well as all of the craziness that Puss in Boots goes through in this film. So from a visuals perspective, this movie also looks really great. So from a comparisons perspective, this is one of those rare instances where the sequel actually precedes the first movie in terms of quality, storyline, and characterizations. It's difficult to compare it to the Shrek movies, as they are so different. But I would say, you know, the Shrek franchise is just absolutely incredible, and all 5 of the movies are really strong. However, I would say the quality does decline ever so slightly as the next iterations are released. So I would say this movie is probably on par with 3, 4, 5. And I would also compare it to a lot of other Illuminations and DreamWorks productions. For example, like The Bad Guys, Megamind, Road to El Dorado, Minions. So, you know, this movie is definitely in great company. So overall, I really enjoyed Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I feel like it reinvigorates the franchise, and I'm just really excited to now see where on earth is going to go next, as I just love the tease that they have at the end of this movie, and I just can't wait to see what's going to happen in the wider franchise as well, which I feel like has got a really bright future ahead of it, as it did kind of disappear from existence, and now it's kind of having its comeback moment, which is really cool. Love the storyline, love all of the characters, love the visuals in this film. I definitely do think that they could have pushed a lot of aspects, for example, the adventure, the twists and turns, and the magical things that take place in this movie. But that being said, it is a really solid film, and so for all of those reasons, I'm going to give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. Now I'd love to hear what you thought of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, so please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.